Our next submitter is Lee Robinson, representing the Robinsons Bay Ratepayers and Residents Association and the Takamatura Ratepayers and Residents Association. Lee, welcome to the table. Good to see you.
Thank you, councillors. Appreciate the opportunity. Look, I'll be brief. In 2011, 10-11, most of the wharves in the harbour were closed because of earthquake damage and lack of repair and maintenance. And there was a lot of work done by the communities in convincing council that these facilities were very necessary, not only for local use, but they were really community use for people travelling day trips from Akaroa. And I think a lot of us spent time sending photographs to the council organisation, just showing just how these facilities were community-based and community-used. We had a fantastic working bee last year in Takamatura the year before, where a public-private sort of arrangement was entered into. The council funded a lot of the hardware material. Takamatura Residents Association had about 15 working bee days with their residents. The team was led by Paul Devlin, the council ranger, over weekends, and they restored their wharf with a contribution from the Takamatura Residents Association and cash. And last year we had 23 working bees from November 18 to September 19 on the wharf, repairing and fixing up this lovely community facility. It's there now probably for another 100 years. It was a fantastic community project. People were enthusiastic about fronting up down there at all sorts of in all sorts of weather, and we achieved an incredible project, really lifting 5-metre beams in person down the wharf and dropping them into place and fixing this really great community asset. We have one further thing to do in respect to both wharves. They are a long way out of the ground at low tide. The community's indicated a wish to contribute to a floating pontoon. It's just a safety mechanism, not only for people getting on and off boats, but people who use the jetty need to get in and out of the water if they want to swim or fish. And for young children, it's pretty essential that safety platform, if you like, is installed. I'm sure we can raise some money to do that, but I just seek some funding from the council to complete the projects for these very worthwhile community facilities. I think the cost of a floating pontoon is somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000, and I know that the labour will be provided under supervision from someone like Paul Devlin and Kevin Simcock, who's an engineer from Takamatura, leads their association. So it would be, again, a public-private arrangement. It would be completed by working bees under engineering supervision, and it's just a matter of being able to fund this over the next year or two. So I'm grateful for the opportunity of making that submission.
Thank you. Sarah.
Thanks so much. I was just wondering if you approached the community board about potentially funding or part funding over a couple of years. We did for the wharf, and we will do that again. Yeah.
We were just encouraged to make this submission in the first instance.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Any further questions? All right. Well, thank you, Lee, for joining us this morning. Thanks for what clearly has been some successful community partnership work in getting getting the wharf back to where it needs to be. And thanks for a very clear request this morning as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now moving